Welcome to Take It from the Ironwoman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Ironwoman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Ironwoman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success.
Okay.
Today we are going to Patagonia to Heike Pirngruber, and she's known as the Pushbikegirl. So welcome. It's 2024 and we wish you first of all safe travels, but also we like to hear from you. Where did it all start? How can we follow you? And just tell us your story, because I've been following you on the Instagram. First of all, your pictures are amazing. Your newsletter is amazing. I really enjoy it. But let's hear from you as a person rather than on Instagram.
I'm Heike. I was born in Germany, near Heidelberg, in a little town, and I left home it's almost 11 years because it was in May 2013. I started out with a bicycle, and that's why I'm calling myself a push bike girl, because actually in the US, the term push bike isn't well known, but the Brits and the Aussies, they're familiar with this term. It's a bicycle. So I'm a girl on a bicycle, and you can find me everywhere. Not everywhere, but I have a website with the same name and Instagram, Facebook, etc. And 10 years on the road.
10 years on the road. Like if people have a home and a lot of stuff, and then you hear from you 10 years on the road, how many kilos or pounds do you carry with yourself?
At the beginning, it was a little more because you're just starting out. You think you need a lot of things. I had 6 bags. You know, the classic setup on a bicycle is 4 panniers, a big bag on the back, which is maybe 20-liter sack. Mm-hmm. And then in front is another tiny bag. So all in all, it was, I don't know, maybe 20 kilos. And then on top of this, you have water and food. Then the longer I traveled, the more remote I went. Then you kind of need to get rid of a few items because you need to stock up more on food and water if you're going remote. If you're crossing deserts, the most important thing is the water. Toss away a few shirts and pants and stuff. At the end, I had 1 pair of pants and 1 t-shirt, and yeah, there's no more room for luxury. Then I stopped cycling because I adopted a dog in California and Mexico. It took me a while to find the right way to travel because having a dog is a very different scenario, especially in Latin America with all the street dogs and guard dogs. You basically get in trouble a lot. So to protect my dog, I bought a TukTuk in Santiago de Chile. and now we're TukTuking. Yeah, it's fun. We're on the road now. Well, we started, let me think, probably 6 months ago. And we have covered about 10,000 Ks, Chile and Argentina. And now we're on our way, to Ushuaia, the most southern city on earth.
How can you find a TukTuk? I thought the TukTuks, they only exist in India. How did you get to find a TukTuk in Chile?
That was a little cold because there are actually no TukTuks in Chile and none TukTuks in Argentina. I was lucky because the previous owner was a fan of Thailand. He actually imported one from, I'm not sure, India, I think. It's also, the TukTuk I own is made in India. There's no other TukTuk anywhere here. So that's why people are really happy to see us. They say hello and say, hey, what is this? And they laugh. They want to take pictures. It's a conversation starter.
I think so. How do you plan for, as you said, obviously we can imagine water is the most important thing, but now also gas is the most important thing. How do you plan for those longer trips?
Now the situation is a little different because you can cover more ground. And of course, I can carry more because there's more space. And on a bicycle, there's less space. And yeah. And so I have extra gas with me. I can have a 20-liter extra. And so we can cover about 600 Ks in total. That's quite far. And usually that's enough to get to the next gas station. And of course, water isn't an issue. I can carry 40 liters. That's not an issue any longer. So having an engine changes everything because it's so much easier. Even if the 4x4 people, they're with the big trucks, they're laughing at us, thinking, oh, this poor lady, she has a tuk-tuk. But for me, it's pure luxury. In comparison to the bicycle, it's luxury. Sometimes I'm even kind of, it sometimes makes me a little unhappy because, I mean, it's fun on one hand, but the other hand is kind of, I'm missing a little bit the struggle, the challenge, my exercise. I mean, being tired at the end of the day because I'm no longer fighting for getting up the mountain, even if it's not so easy in a tuk-tuk because we struggle as well because of the wind and the altitude. And sometimes when it's too steep, we might have a speed of 10, maybe 15 the most. And if it's really a shitty road, like a lot of corrugation, then we're in trouble too. It's nothing like pushing up a bicycle or trying to push through the sand or what you kind of you're suffering on a bicycle over and over again, especially when you pick the remoter areas.
It's more physical on the bike, and as you said, you're tired at the end of the day. And how many kilometers do you do per day? Is it, if you say 600 kilometers, I'm assuming you're not doing 600 every single day.
No, it depends on the road. If it's a normal bitumen road, it's easy peasy. Then you can cover, even with a tuk-tuk, you might cover 250 Ks. But if it's a real corrugated road, lots of washboard, they call it ripio here. If it's a really bad road, we might do, 80, 100. We had one section, it was high up in the mountains, altitude 4,500 meters. We needed 11 hours for 100 Ks. So it's a slow vehicle, really slow. Oh, it's fun. Seriously, it's fun. I have a normal car. That's boring.
No, then you feel the air and
Absolutely.
You feel it's more adventurous rather than like a conventional car. It seems like your life is not conventional. But then when you travel, do you sleep in a tent or do you see that you get accommodation, or how does that work for you?
Most of the time we're pitching a tent. I mean, there's sometimes, you come through a town and then there's the need of having a shower or just go grocery shopping. And then you think, you know what? There's a cheap place here, so we can stay indoor. But usually because I have a dog now, it's much nicer when we're staying somewhere far away from civilization. I always prefer to pitch a tent.
You mentioned earlier, give away the luxury. So is there anything that you really, really miss, or after a while you get used to having just a bare minimum?
As I said, the tuk-tuk is already pure luxury. So now we can carry pretty much everything we need. Especially what I miss the most on a bicycle was fresh food. So veggies and fruit, that's so much easier to carry now. The only thing, when you come through those small towns, there's nothing there. You can buy some meat, but you don't get any fresh veggies, which is kind of sad. Then you stick to rice and lentils. Basically, that's the food I eat the most, or ate the most for the last 10 years.
It seems like a healthy diet. So you're a vegetarian, or?
No, but I might throw a can of tuna in it. But usually I stick to veggies as much as I can. because I'm not a meat lover. And here they eat a lot of meat. So when invited or when there's nothing else, then you have to eat meat, basically.
I saw on Instagram that you stopped eating sugar. How is that? Tell us more about that.
I managed to stay away from sugar for 2 months, but last week I was invited by a friend and the mother served a really, really nice little cake. I didn't want to be rude. I just said, yeah, sure. And ever since I'm back in the trap which is really sad, but I will start again sometime in January because you sleep better, you feel better. I have less stomach issues, and I probably need 1 hour less sleep every night. It's amazing what the sugar is doing to you. It's really unbelievable. It gives me more energy if I stay away from it. And I mean, it's not healthy anyway. We know that.
Okay, then I have to get rid of my chocolate. That is sad, being from Switzerland.
Because Swiss chocolate is still the best.
If people want to follow you, so you said you have the website and we can also pay for your beautiful photography. It's amazing. So what do you bring in terms of so you have a phone, you have a computer, or how much equipment do you have with you?
Electronical equipment, you're talking. Laptop. I have a camera with a few prime lenses. And what else do I have? That's anything. And a phone, of course. And some cable stuff, which usually doesn't last long because I don't know what I'm always doing with my cables, but they seem to break all the time. Sorry, I forgot that. I have a solar panel and power bank with chargers and something like that.
How do you make plans, or how do you create a routine for yourself? A routine sounds so mundane, but how do you plan out days?
I don't plan. It got more and more extreme the longer I was on the road. At the beginning, the first year, you kind of make plans. You want to sort of a little bit be on the safe side. Now, I'm doing this for so long. I always know there is a solution for everything. Basically, I decide in the morning if I'm heading off or don't. Sometimes I pack up in the afternoon and I think, I have done that with a bicycle too. So I pack up in the afternoon and say, okay, well, let's go. I'm bored. I need something new. So there's no routine for me. No, that's not correct. Sort of you have a routine because like everyone else. Because, I mean, you need to pitch a tent. You need to cook. You need to get groceries. You need to get somewhere. And then we're usually hiking because now I have a dog. So we need to do some exercise and explore the world. And then I take pictures. I love to travel in the night. Nighttime photography is my favorite. But also I love it to be outdoors when it's dark. Sort of there's more freedom, more silence. Especially when it's full moon, it's beautiful. I used to make fires, especially in the desert. I'm no longer doing this because now we're in Patagonia. There's too many trees. That's just too dangerous these days. But in the desert, I always like my little fire. I cook on the fire. I'm the happiest lady just looking at the stars. I don't need more than that. And now with my dog, I'm no longer alone. I have the best mate on the planet.
We were talking about relationships, and you said the best partner is the dog. It's not easy to find a partner to travel with you. What if you meet somebody, let's say on the road? Do you travel with them for a little while, or you like to be on your own?
To be honest, in all those years, it didn't happen often that there was a chance to travel with someone else. Yes, it happened. I cycled with a Spaniard at the beginning in Iran for, I don't know, maybe a month. I met a bunch of other cyclists on the road, but usually they went the other way. So then it was a day talking at the hostel or at the campsite or somewhere under the stars, and then we went our ways. And now with the TukTuk, and especially here, now I'm too fast for the cyclists or too slow. Sometimes cyclists are even faster than I am. But I'm too slow for the 4x4 guys. They laugh about us. This poor little lady, she doesn't get anywhere. It's just the two of us, and it's fine. I can deal with this, especially you don't have long discussions where we're heading and what we're doing. I just go, I don't have to ask one for an opinion or a permission.
What are your intentions for 2024?
I just want to see more of South America. We just started out. South America is a huge continent. There's a lot to explore. It's mainly seeing a lot of nature. Right now, as I said, we're heading south to the end of the world, as they call it. And then we go from there. I don't know. Who knows what's tomorrow? No one knows. I have a few ideas what I definitely want to see. Just over the years, you follow other people, and then you see a picture. Yeah, that would be nice to go there. But if not, well, it's not the end of the world. There's so much more. And so I'm flexible.
First of all, we want to wish you safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take it from the Ironwoman. We have episodes every Monday. Check them out. There's people from around the world in different languages. And also make sure to get the book, Take It From the Ironwoman, Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Thank you for your support. Write a review, like us on your preferred podcast platform. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.